down into the vents. The bomb should be planted momentarily. They're just trying to get as much information as possible and cause as much chaos as they can. Bomb planted in the smoke. It is planted for the decon side, but also can be seen from connector, which is where Yuri currently resides.
Well, diffuse kit on Stanislaw as well, though.
Oh, that nade.
Yeah. It's a lot of damage, and also there's that shot from Art that leaves Stan all by his lonesome. Finds one, but too many Furia players to deal with there. So easy pistol round for Furia, and that was the exact same pistol round as we saw them on their last bout of NUKE as well.
Yes.
So again, if there's going to be, I guess, recycled strats in that sense from Furia, NRG, if they've done their homework, if Amapet have been looking at the demos, they should definitely be aware of what's to come.
Yeah, exactly. It was a case that, I think it was INTZ that we saw them play against the NUKE, where they actually just started spamming through Squeaky for the first sort of 20, 30 seconds to deal with Art. They're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep nading and then looking for that quick peek. There is smoke planted down from Stanislaw, who has an MP9 up close.
Yeah, this is quite actually the investment from NRG. And it's not through pistols either. We will find Zerk, though, so that's one of the 2 scouts that they had going for them out of business. If you slow down too much here, that's going to give prime opportunities for someone like Breezy to do tag damage, and obviously that's going to make it a whole lot easier to finish off players for the MP9s, the Mag 7s.
The scout could really be the assist king. Ali up them for the slam dunks. Mag 7 traded into a Galil. Stanislaw's also had his head caved in. Meanwhile, Tarek's also been found and fragged, and Breeze trying to use the scout at the top of heaven to see if he can do some significant damage. Ethan was asking so much of him as 3 players peeked him simultaneously, and Furia going to claim their second round.
Yep. 2 of the 3 players they're surviving on the side of Furia had less than 20 HP, so not necessarily too comfortable for Furia, but in the end, all that matters is the round win. Not dropping the ball here versus the force buy. Now they go into a much easier challenge. So you'd assume that NRG are not going to buy up behind this. Not going to be another force buy, so there we have it.
Certainly hope not, Ben. That would put their start to CT in real jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some things over the years.
We have. We really, really have.
Now we're going to see a ramp stack, actually, from NRG, and they're ducking out pretty soon. That was the least committed stack I've seen in a while. It lasted for a total about 10 seconds before they gave up on it. And, well, just as they duck away, 3 players on the side of Furia make their way through. So ramp room control has been gotten from Furia, and all of a sudden Tarek finds out that, yeah, they might have given up on that a little bit too early.
As his kneecaps ravaged by the SG, he's not going to be able to do anything to stop this bomb plant. Art, slowly but surely, going to go back towards Squeaky. Breeze is here, the P250. Perfect crosshair placement's going to yield the kill and an AK-47 trading hands.
We can find a follow-up on this as well. He's buying time for the player on Silo here to potentially deal with Yuri. And there we go. Tarek finds him. There's potentially 2 weapons they can salvage. Well, Tarek, making his way down from Silo, is going to get picked up by Vinny, and Breezy probably doesn't have too much going for him in this duel. Quesarado already at the right place at the right time. Furia net another round. So they get off to at least a solid start on their T side here of NUKE. That's something that they weren't able to do. Obviously, they weren't able to get a single round, honestly, on the T side of Train. So improvement to be found. There we go. Now, I guess the more interesting rounds begin to come up here with a buy coming in on the side of NRG.
And we'll have to see how this unfolds.
Open hand, yeah.
Indeed for Zerk, as they did go for the full save on him. He only had USP in the last round. 4 SGs.
Vinny taking some pot shots through the wall from ramp there, taking a whole lot of damage. Down to 96. Might as well just give up now. Wall banks are not quite the same as we see the triple. That's an old school move, this one. Haven't seen this being brought out too much. Way more prominent on the old version of NUKE.
He got there eventually. This is brutal for Heaven if it does go for a peek. Again, though, how long do they stay in this position? Because they're giving up map presence, they're giving up some control early on.
We did see this, I think, ooh, just
missed
the timing. He's trying to swing back here. hoping that Cirque's going to fall back to heaven, maybe check out towards Ivy. But yeah, as you said, this is killing a lot of time. We saw United tried the quad boost, right, on Overpass. They spent about a minute doing so, didn't have any map control, and got caught for it.
Ooh, Cirque's like, hold on, where's that coming from?
Yeah, he's very confused right now. He hasn't seen this since about 2016, so...
We can see how much time's left, 35 seconds. They at least have AbleJ making inroads through round. The spray from Tarek, gonna get the one kill. It could still play off for Furia. Shot in mid-air will be Vinny from the hands of Cirque. And now 25 seconds for Furia to get downstairs and get the bomb planted on B, but Breeze is a step ahead of them.
Yeah, this could get really, really rough. Molotovs go down to, well, section him off from control room. It's worth diving here for Breeze to just deny a bomb plant. 10 seconds left. They need to plant in the smoke here.
He's going to be looking. He's going to find some players. They're not going to be able to stop the bomb plant, but they will be able to handle the rest, keeping 3 players alive. Good news for the economy. And Furia shooting themselves in the foot to a degree with how long they stacked up. They didn't really get anything for it. I think they only did 24 damage to Cirque from all of that.
Yeah, it didn't really pan out the way they'd hoped for it. And I mean, in one way, you can give them credit, I guess, for really committing to something, unlike the ramp stack from NRG, right? But didn't quite work out the way they wanted. But it's cool to see, though. That's you know, when you talk about meta changes in the game and something, and well, basically the development of the game, right? You see certain things fall out of favor because they're not efficient anymore. People find a solution for it, and then you come around like full cycle where what was really efficient in 2015 might be really efficient again today because of how the game has just moved onwards.
Yeah, the small little adaptions and evolutions can really bring old positions back to prominence.
Yeah, so it's cool to see Furia bust that out. I don't think too many people have looked into it, obviously because of the changes to the roof on this version of NUKE as well. Hasn't made it as accessible initially, and as you can see, it's not necessarily an easy shot for Art to hit there either. There's a lot of just stuff in the way, and we know that, well, all kinds of objects in the CSGO takes away a significant amount of damage from any shot. Cirque's gonna miss out on a golden opportunity here.
Art, how did you miss that? Oof. He had the flat of Cirque's back to aim at, and he completely missed. He is going to connect onto Stanislaw, and Yuri claims onto Ethan. Breeze holding the line at the back of the site. How many more can he go? Cirque is going to help him out. Trying to pillage a site of Furia. Down to AbleJ and Queserato, who is going to be darting downstairs through the vents.
He's got the bomb as well, so AbleJ, if he can stay calm here, he can wait for rotations to dive through the vent, or for potentially just people to run into him and hut. Now, confusion abound. They need to deal with AbleJ. Is always going to be a bit of a nuisance. Tarek is going to go down to Queserato as well. So Cirque left alone. 1v2. Does have a defuse kit at the very least, but finding these two Brazilians in two very separate parts of the site is going to be so difficult.
Bulgarian needs to fend off against 2 Brazilians here.
Window closed or not shattered as well, which...
And the doors. So whatever he does, he's going to make sound cues, and I think that's why he's pulling back. He knows there's no easy way back into this round. Yes, he has a kit and a flash, but it's not worth it.
Oh, it definitely isn't. Again, NRG has just won a single round up to this point, so it's not going to be an opportunity to fully reinvest regardless. And an op on Cirque can be enough to change the tide of a round.
Sure. Yeah, that's a big takeout of the round, all things considered, that you can't save an AWP if you can just have like one of those magical rounds. He can just turn it by himself.
Absolutely. And it was looking like it would turn for a significant amount of time there. It started off going down to a 3v5, then bring it back by finding 3 kills in a row. Furia fight back, Queserato being able to sneak down into vents with the bomb. Stanislaw with the aggressive setup here is going to find Vinny immediately, and this is heavy pressure from NRG, and this is something actually we saw Furia run into previously as well versus United. Completely shuts down their yard push and just able to chain Queserato down, and we're 25 seconds into the round.
Really taking the fight to Furia. Hyper aggressive. The bomb dropped in the smoke will be retrievable from AbleJ's hands. And they've given up outside control, realizing once the smoke's clear, with having so many SMGs, they could come out worse for wear if you have players up on silo and the like. So they want to play this one carefully. They've got the advantage. Back away, 5v2, set up your crossfires, play default. This is really smart play. Unfortunately, Ethan at that range is going to get bested by AbleJ's SG. Has a superior firepower, but still, his position is now known, and this is where Cirque start to rain in with the saved AWP from the round gone by. Tarek, MP9 from the side. Good round from NRG.
A really solid round. And again, this is the type of play, right, that Furia struggles to cope with.
Absolutely deserved as well. They played phenomenally for the better part of
Just
it.
immediate aggression to shut down what they want to do. It slows down their tempo. And any sort of backup plan they have is, well, not going to be too efficient when you don't have any players to execute with. I think a lot of this is going to come down to whether or not NRG are going to be able to stem the tide initially from Furia, push them back, and have them play slow. Serrato immediately towards ramp. Everyone immediately towards ramp, actually.
There's two players here. Tarek's just going to dip out. Stanislaw has his back covered. Meanwhile, Breeze close range with the Org. Just too many players to deal with. Cirque with two. He's going to reposition one more time. Flick's not quite on point. Gets in the second time of asking. But again, they're making sure these kills are being avenged. They are just chipping away at NRG's economy, chipping away at their guns. That is the AWP under control. Could switch hands, but they're going to keep the SGs instead. That's a grenade that's not going to deal too much damage, if any. They saw it from a mile away. They just backed off.
Still, though, NRG have the favorable positions here. They got Stanislaw down on the lower bomb site. Also have Tarek tucked away in case they were to move under heaven, and Ethan's already tucked away into hut. So anywhere Fury decide to go, they need to be efficient with their trades, and expecting these kind of off angles that Ethan's put himself in. Even if he has a UMP, it's going to be tough to deal with. Stanislaw behind Silo here on lower end. I think he could tuck himself further in towards the right side, yeah. And use actually the lower end of the silo there to cover himself a little bit more.
Been spotted now, though.
Yeah.
This is where the cavalry needs to arrive quickly for Stanislaw. It's a good Molotov. It actually funnels them both onto the left-hand side. It's going to make them feel a bit uneasy about pushing in, but now they realize that the site's by and large clear. Ethan making noise down in vents with a UMP, not an ideal weapon at this kind of range. He needs Tarek to come in with his M4 and do some serious damage. Both players from Furia pretty healthy additionally, and they have a flashbang. Tarek gets the upper hand in that trade. That could be so vitally important for NRG. Yuri, though, still alive, still kicking.
Tarek still has flashes as well here.
They have a kit then. They can afford to take a little bit of time just to make sure.
Oh, that's a bad flash.
They lock out Yuri. Indeed it is. It doesn't affect him at all. It lands the wrong side. Ethan, though, on the drive-by. UMP headshot. And that will be NRG with a third round.
There we go. NRG clutch it out in the end. Just being able to have the positions that they had. Doing it all for them. Cirque finding 3 kills in all this chaos in total. Allows for NRG to get a third round on the board. We talked about that all potentially being a game changer, at least a round changer. It definitely was in that case. Fury on there, and even with the bomb plant, have to reside to pistols. NRG looking to equalize the score at the very least here in the early stages of NUKE. Oh, Art. That's with the bomb. They did this versus United as well, Art being the solo drop. That time, though, he managed to get down. Cirque spots 2 feet running past, so information gained at least as to what's going on the side of Furia. Tarek's in a proper position here to deal with this.
Fish in a barrel, but the fish turned out to be piranha. Although NRG don't really care. They're still going to put bullets to faces and get us back to a 4-4. But those are the kind of pre-fire shots that I was talking about before. When you're against Fury, you know they're going to go for a lot of vent dives. Why wouldn't you just try and go for those speculative shots? You're going to get kills now and again.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously harder to do with an AWP, but absolutely worthwhile doing for NRG. Pans out as well. So the tactical pause comes out for Furia. They need to get back into the swing of things as NRG has gotten a bit of a foothold here. It's going to be a buy round as well from the Brazilians, so we'll see. Got pretty hard shut down once they went for their I guess, standard yard play. Previous rounds, the ramp push didn't work out that efficiently either, so we'll see if they have something else up their sleeve, if it's going to be towards that inner side. But as you said, NRG are definitely aware of it, and they are spamming the doorway pretty much from the get-go. So a lot of the avenues are going to be tough to deal with here for Furia.
Yeah, they got the pistol, they got the subsequent rounds, and now that they're starting to find plenty of rifles, it's not been quite as easy. Aggression again, Cirque overstays his welcome. Maybe a bit telegraphed, and again, Fury going to take some secret control. Stanislaw decides to push through the smoke. Be careful what you wish for, though, here, Stanislaw. He's listening to those footsteps. He knows that everyone's gone downstairs at this stage. He's going to be going around the back of them. This is so much information, so much intel that he's gathering for the rest of his team. And if Tarek can just hold the line, Stanislaw's flank could be so hugely detrimental for Furia.
If he just denies the bomb plant here, that's going to be everything for them. Open plant as well, and well, Stanislaw gets an easy double kill. Make that a third. In case Serrato left to his own devices out in yard, he's not going to have anything to do on this one. Stanislaw has been tagged down, but pretty much single-handedly won in that round with a quick flank. As you said, so detrimental, so devastating.
That's a frustrating round for Furia as well, because they got the first kill on Cirque. That's the AWPer down. Feeling pretty good about things. Case Serrato is going to catch Breeze unaware, but with the bomb under control from the counter-terrorists. Just a drop in the bucket. The stand plays very aggressive in the smoke. Around the back of them, playing it so patiently, so very well. And the NRG will have the lead for the first time on NUKE. And the economy for Furia now down the toilet. And they're going to be looking at a half buy into round number 10. So it's not going to get any easier for them. It's kind of like the reverse of what we saw on Train, to be fair, although not quite as streaky. Furia with a 4-0 lead, then NRG come back.
That's very true. And now the question is if Furia have another run in them. We have been seeing the trend of more and more teams having greater success on their T sides as well, which has to be a little bit of a worry for Furia right now. Look at just how calm and collected Stanislaw is there on the flank. Doesn't miss a single beat there to single-handedly destroy any chances Furia had of winning that round, even with the successful entry frag.
And whereas Train was the Breeze show, this time around very evenly spread around NRG. Everybody between 8 and 5 kills.
And all early Molotov goes out behind T-Red to prevent the smoke from landing. Little do they know, Furia, no intentions of going quickly just yet. A lot of utility, and actually an AK that was saved on Serrato. There is some firepower here. Breezy in a very forward position. See who gets the better of who once the smoke starts to dissipate, or if Breezy's going to duck out.
See, from his perspective, he could not see Vinny protruding through the smoke. Now he can, and it's cleared. Big kill. Breeze also tagged down to 56. Doesn't want to give that away for free. 2 players down pretty early on the Brazilian side, one of which was Serrato, who saved the AK, and now Stanislaw with the AUG. They're burning, they're being shipped and pillaged away. Mabel J, Desert Eagle, 29 health. Will not be getting anything done this round. 6-4.
Yeah, fair bit of energy players surviving as well, so economy's starting to bolster up for them as well. Things might get pretty dicey for Furia. Second tactical timeout being taken as well to talk things through. The big question is, what do they feel like they've found success with? The immediate yard push was countered by aggression. And even when they found the opening the second time around with Cirque behind T-Red, just not being able to deal with Stanislaw's quick wrap. So right now, pretty much every avenue that we've seen in buy rounds from Furia haven't really panned out. That has to be a bit of a worry. Again, I don't think the answer is going to be like a similar thing where they, try to triple boost on top of roof to see if they can find anyone in heaven, because NRG, for the better part of it, haven't really had too much presence from heaven. Cirque's been switching up his position quite a bit, so it's not a guarantee that you're going to find anything there. The art dives through vents haven't really been successful either. Yuri's going to pan out behind the smoke, and you can see NRG have set up for the same aggressive yard play here. They were expecting something quick. Gone down with one already, and Ethan's going to find Yuri, but he's quickly traded an advantage for Furia, and that's a lot of real estate to work with right now. Ground gain, they have a spread defense from NRG to deal with.
You can see that from Yuri's perspective, as soon as he gets the first kill, he's already pre-firing through the smoke. He knows exactly what's coming up. Art, though, has made inroads on the site. Cirque, he was waiting. He was waiting to see how many players came by, and it's going to cost him dearly. He wishes he'd snatched at the opportunity now. Stanislaw actually pushing through the smoke, decides better of it.
A little bit curious, actually, as to what went on, communication-wise with NRG right there, because they already had one player rotated down through the vents before Cirque decided to drop in. It's like a bit of an overreaction to the couple of nades that were thrown out on ramp. Nonetheless, it nets Furia an open A site, bomb plant down, and they're going to get a fifth. So finally, some some answers being going the way of them. Kisarado dangerously close of actually finding someone. Breeze takes his chance, thinks that there's only the op around. Stanislaw tries to make his way out of heaven, not going to be the case. At the very least, Breezy does survive.
Well, I thought Kisarado had just drilled Breezy through the floor there for a second.
The angles are a bit finicky there.
As you highlighted, though, it is going to be a 5th round on the side of Furia after conceding 6 in a row. NRG's economy, considering they've won that many rounds, not fantastic. Couple players down towards sub $100. That is the play from Cirque. He came up and Abel J suddenly realizes, hold on a second, there's a guy here.
He's not part of our team.
Let's pop his head off.
Once again, though, out to yard we go. No immediate response from NRG in that end, but obviously they're going to be able to work off a sound. Oh, Terry just immediately evaporated.
That's huge. That's the B site open for business. NRG going to try and muster some kind of retake down ramp, but it's pretty one-dimensional, and Yuri going from strength to strength, going to peek back out again, had the right idea with the wall bang, but doesn't want to overextend. His team have a 5v3 lead. This round, all intents and purposes, should be theirs. Cirque, though, with a kill, could give them a bit of interest, but it's such a hard site to retake, especially when your player's behind and you know that Furia will still have a fair chunk of utility. They're just going to save. So 6-6. This is now shaping up to be a really solid half for Furia.
Really is. You can tell, NRG have an idea. Like, once they, I guess, recognize the strategy, you could tell that Cirque had a very good idea that Kisarado would be the lurker, because he always is when we see these kind of outer pushes from Furia. So they're able to find something out of it. It's an op out of their hands. It's not, you know, a guarantee that they're going to be able to retrieve that on the side of Furia. So something gained at least on the side of NRG, but yeah, just solidly executed from the Brazilians there to net them a 6th one. Finally on equal terms, and that's a great shot from Yuri right there.
Yeah, some slick entry fragging. Tarek didn't know what hit him on the staircase. And now we're tied up all even, and it's the time for NRG to feel the economic sting. They're the team with decisions to make. They've called a tactical timeout.
Surviving with 3, though, I think there's a good argument to be made, really, to buy up behind this. One thing you really have to account for is how you go about your initial setup. Do you want to focus on the inner bomb site to prevent, you know, vent drops, or do you want to set up for another aggressive push towards the yard area where you can potentially thwart whatever Furia has in mind? We haven't really seen too much aggression over towards ramp, so I don't see there being any reason for them to bolster up that specific part of the map. We've seen one push pretty much coming in there, and in any case, you can deal with that in other ways, right? You can get ramp room control as a T, but that's not necessarily going to net you too much of value. Still have to make it down to a bomb site, and rotations are still pretty quick for CTs.
So many Molotovs. Ethan's found an island in the middle of the liquid fire. It's going to spread to him slightly, but he can still maintain his position.
Yeah, and you can tell that they're very adamant about denying any sort of vent dive here through Squeaky, and that was definitely the intent of Furia as well, but 2 Molotovs is going to stem the tide.
That could really bait them as well. They may assume that this position could not be occupied by Ethan.
But now they have 2 players watching the sim. Yeah, this is...
They've just dropped down, though. They've mitigated it entirely.
I don't know what Ethan was doing there, because they had Breezy watching the door, well, watching Hut the entire time. Tarek's downstairs on the bomb site. He's going to find one. Good catch, but now his position is exposed, and he's going to be found by Art.
These are big kills coming in, though, from NRG. They've dropped the bomb out in an awkward position at the back of the site, and the remaining 2 terrorists are at the top. They're moving outside down secret. They're going to be running into a slew of NRG players. Stanislaw maybe taking first contact.
And they also have, I think it's Ethan standing on the stairs. So early alarm systems out for NRG here to fend off anything. Ethan's going to actually reposition. Might be the wrong time to do so. Okay, thinks better of it. This is nice move, though, from Furia.
Doesn't quite pay off for them. That smoke also primed. The second he sees a pixel, it gets tossed out. 23 seconds. This round is all done. There's no chance for Furia to get any kills or any plant here.
Now just hold on to the 2 weapons. Have a go at it again. See if you can bring it back to 7-7, but this one does belong to NRG. And again, surviving with 4 players, at least for the time being, and there's no real reason for them to go hunting here. Okay, Stanislaw. Well, I think that's actually for the better
Probably,
of
yeah.
energy. So you can be kind of happy about the botched flash from Ethan.
Look at Stanislaw's face there as he looked across. He's like, "You what, mate?
Yeah,
What was that? You trying to get me killed? Like, don't try and get rid of me. You just got me in a team.
Exactly.
What is
We're
this?
in this together.
We're already having a mutiny."
Things falling apart. Shambles over at the energy side. No, not quite yet. 7 rounds. So still in the lead, but Fury is definitely putting up a good fight here on their T side. We'll see if they can close that out in a promising fashion or not. Another pause being called. It's been energy to use the most of them so far.
Yeah, both teams, though, have shown that they really want to take this first half each and every round at a time, you know, calling these timeouts, just trying to rummage together some ideas.
Yeah.
They know how on balance and the tipping point this half actually is and how important each and every one of these rounds are.
Yeah, I mean, also because you stand the chance of obviously qualifying directly for the major. That's such a big prize to have hanging over a match. There's no reason not to use these timeouts to make sure that you get every little detail explained and delivered across to your teammates. And away we go. Art with the open hand. We'll see if, again, if they go back towards that aggressive posturing towards Squeaky or not. Actually, it's going to be the ramp play early on. Tarek's going to have a lot to deal with. Handles the first very nicely. Able J down already, and a bit of a halt to the push of Furia.
Yes, but the good news for Furia is they're about to find out is that no one is around the lockers or heaven. So yes, Tarek gets a kill, drops into ramp, but they have given up some valuable map presence and some real estate in the process. Molotov down to heaven, or up to heaven, I should say.
I'm not going to fully commit to it, though. Vinny just hanging out, seeing if there's any sort of rotations coming in. Quesarado already over towards Squeaky. There hasn't been any sort of over-rotations just yet from Energy, though, so their defense still stands strong. But yeah, they have to worry about Heaven eventually.
Art is going to try and capitalize on this chaos in the confusion.
Breezy's in a position where he needs to kind of cover 2 spaces at once. It can be really difficult.
So many flanks going down here.
Oh,
Ethan's going to get the better of Quesarado. It's heavily tagged up the process. No one's watching main. Vinny can come through with a second. He's going to wallbang Ethan. And there's Stanislaw. They've got every angle possible on A site. Locked down from NRG. Finally, though, Furia have a glimmer of hope. It's in the hands of Yuri. He's still in a 1-on-2. Not entirely sure as to where these remaining CTs are. Cirque's down at the B site. Tarek is coming in. Going to try and stop the bomb from being planted. Can't do that, but will end the life of Yuri and claim the 8th round.
very important for Energy. And again, it's the fact that they don't over-rotate, they don't overreact to what's going on over towards ramp. Just calm down. Set up a proper defense there. Breezy does get caught out. Again, has to worry about 2 positions. Obviously, Hut and Heaven. Allows him to get picked up by Vinny, but yeah, Stanislaw with the double kill there just settles everything into the favor of Energy. And still, similar trend continuing. It's not just the one-man show here. Breezy's not leading the charge by his lonesome. It's everybody contributing on the side of Energy here.
Squeaky has been blown wide open again. Cirque, watching outside, knows that each and every second he stays here, though. Someone could be dropping down onto the main roof. It's nearly a 2-for-1. He did connect onto Art through Yuri. But he's down to a measly 14 health, has been finished off. This is looking so very powerful for NRG. And the blink of an eye and the heartbeat, the round is over, and so is the half. NRG 9-6 in the lead.
Yep, everything working out for the North American side there towards the end of it. Well, it looked like Furia was able to mount a bit of a comeback here and potentially have a really strong T side. Not to be the case, but still a half left to be played. But first, gonna head to a bit of a commercial break. So for you guys to watch the remainder of this match, come back in 1.5 minutes, and we'll get the conclusion. And welcome back to what is going to be the second half of NRG versus Furia. We're on map 2. It's NUKE. And we just saw NRG close out the first half in a strong fashion. Cirque there with near the double kill to set NRG off at the right pace. Now, obviously, getting into the second pistol round, it's going to be vital for Furia to get off to a hot start. We've seen them being able to do so here on NUKE in the first half, but it didn't quite follow through all the way. So you get to play on the CT side of NUKE on their own map pick, so it's not all lost just yet. NRG, though, having pretty even production out of their players. We saw on Train, Breezy having quite the game, 30 frags to his name there, but this time it's going to be the other players and other stars of NRG to really chime in here as go directly out into Yard. It's Art to actually find first contact here onto Breeze. Actually, no smokes here either. A very straightforward rush into Secret. So obviously, a ton of information gained from Furia. They've already set themselves up. Rotations are in place. Able J tucked away in vents. Dives out at the right time. And actually, Stanislaus want to find Tarek, but overall, easy going for Furia there in that CT pistol.
Yeah, pretty straightforward in the end. A whole bunch of carnage. 9-7.
And a bit of an unorthodox approach. It's not always not very often you're going to see a T side run out into Yard with no smokes, no utility whatsoever, and just kind of hope for the best. If anything, you see those kind of pushes happen towards the ramp area, but nonetheless, Furia will take it. And again, we're seeing the Alligator coming out on the side of Vinny, the auto shotgun. It's just going to be played on that inner bomb site.
Firepower brimming to the fullest on the side of Furia. NRG have dipped in and gone all in on their buy. Does make you a little bit concerned here, Vendetta, if they were to concede. Furia would be straight back into this game, breathing down their necks. Molotov gonna clear. Able J holds down left click with that MP9. Needs Yuri to come help him out with the M4. He's getting overwhelmed. He's getting swarmed by terrorists, and they're going to start to drop down in towards the B side.
There's already a quick flank, though. That's Art. See if he can find anyone in their backs, but they might not be expecting this quick rotation coming in. Vinny already downstairs with the auto shotgun, only able to find one, but still, Art might be the game changer here. Oh, nice there. Response from Breezy, finds the 1D to connect. And all the confusion, just back and forth crossfires between the teams. Furia's going to get the better of it in the end. So the weapons do prevail, but a bomb plant, 3 kills. If you're NRG, you're feeling pretty happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Downside is, of course, that they did force that round, so it's not as if they can come straight out with full AKs and nades, but they're all around the mid 3,000 to high 3,000 mark. Could be curious to see what kind of buy they come in with.
Could be a bit of a hybrid, right, where you have people dropping off SGs and AK, and actually that's what we're going to see. Stanislaus drops SG for Breezy, so they're going to fully commit into this, at least potentially, or they're just going for the hero Krieg on Breezy. Okay, yeah, a bit of a different take on it. Stanislaus sacrificing his own economy to see if Breezy can actually loosen things up on the defensive side of Furia.
And the way he's playing on Train, he is the guy to put all your chips in. Unfortunately, though, on the side of NRG, he's been dealt with very early on by Art, who is looking for more. He's picked up 3 kills and done significant damage to Ethan on a lowly 24. And it's only Art that is going to be a casualty for Furia, so solid round, it would seem. See if Ethan can maybe take another kill or 2 out of this one. No. Here's the resounding answer from K. Serato.
Yeah, that's a hard denial. Furia gets to continue on their winning path. 9-9. Still going to be a buy-up on the side of NRG, though, with only Stanislaus being the one dropping off a weapon there for Breezy.
So here comes the buy that we were looking for. Again, Stanislaus dips down to a CZ to accommodate one of his star players of Breeze. We're returning the favor as well with the grenades through onto Squeaky. Damage being significantly distributed to NRG, but they're going to get downstairs for the time being. Molly frag onto Cirque, who was tagged up by Yuri. And Tarek is looking to make a quick rotation into ramp room, where he finds Able J and takes his head clean off. NRG with a player advantage plus a post plant.
It's going to be really tough. There are diffuse kits and plenty of utility, at least on the side of the CTs, but they're both coming through ramps, so there's not going to be a pincer of any kind, and they also need to wait out the utility here. Ethan still has a smoke as well that he can potentially put down to funnel them even further, and Furia actually just might be thinking about saving these weapons.
Yeah, it looks likely. I mean, the SG in particular is so valuable on the CT side. Plus, you look at their economy, if they can save these two, they can have another really good buy in the next round. So they can just have another shot at it.
Okay, Serato needs to get away, though, just considering how the bomb radius works here on vertical maps. Okay, then, yeah, lives a little bit dangerously, but does survive on 12 HP.
You can see the grin on his face as well, calculated.
Just getting into main. If you were to stand just directly on top of the bomb site, he would die. There you see, that's a lot of damage being taken. A little bit of a fumble to get the smoke down, but in the end, it all pans out.
Yeah, plus they had a fully automatic M4 just spraying through the vent too, so it was shredding them up. I'm surprised more players didn't actually go down. It could have been a very different circumstance, different result.
Yeah, the fact that NRG are the ones to find the kill there initially is pretty impressive. And they're going to go back for more. Art this time with an op. Damage still been done to Tarek. He hasn't even made it down into the vents. Might actually work out for them while I say that. Vinny's aware.
It's a 1-for-1, but now the grenade damage is starting to pile up on top of the likes of Ethan. Art, aggressive. Would you expect anything else from this man, though?
He's just going to continue as well. Not happy with just clearing out Squeaky. He wants full information of what's going on in lobby. How far does he take this, though?
I was going to say,
far.
The AWP doesn't give him much room for error, though. If he rattles off a shot and he misses, but additionally, you could see that his scope was trained at the bottom side, not at the top. So it kind of backfired. Vinny, though, going to pick up the slack from Art's corpse and does put another frag down for Furia, down to a 2-on-2 with just shy of a minute to play with. And K Serato going to drill into Stanislaw, dropping the bomb out in hut. Cirque with the arduous task of trying to retrieve what was once theirs. Oh my goodness, that shot! K Serato shot out of his boots, and now Cirque can try and rummage together down the vents, but Abel J is a step ahead.
What a shot from Cirque, though. Like, oftentimes you can be, there's certain positions where jump peeking is a bit of a 50-50 thing, just to, you know, get information. That feels like one of the safer jumps you can do, but apparently not safe enough.
I mean, you often see players getting destroyed if they're jumping up from like the B-app side of Mirage or maybe Overpass when you're looking at short, but not like, really on that part of Nuke.
It's not normally a position where players are trained to wait for it, but that is absolutely insane. Well, still not enough to win a round, though, and that's just something you have to be happy about if you're Furia.
They did lose 4 weapons, however, so that is going to cost them quite a bit of money to replenish those fallen players.
Yep. Luckily for them, though, no bomb plant for NRG, so they might be in a stage where they're not too comfortable about forcing up, depending on how their economy looks, but time will tell. Right now, though, Fury is still fighting back into this, and yeah, it's got to be a buy, and it's not a fantastic one with the 2 Galils out there, but at least they do get an SG on Breezy and an op on Zerk.
Stanislaw head-to-head with Yuri.
Oh, he knows he's done damage. Not going to be able to complete the kill, though.
Abel J thought just for a brief moment maybe there was going to be a hatful of kills for him. Instead, it's just the one.
Yeah, and Stanislaw's actually been able to find Art, so Yuri's still lurking about with 12 HP. In-game leader of NRG doing a whole lot of work here. Smoke's gone down for Decon as well. Bomb's going to be planted. Back to even numbers, but health advantage lies with NRG.
And keep in mind, this is a fulcrum point round. 10-10. It's effectively could be a 2-for-1 round because of the economy situation for both teams. So whoever wins this is in great shape. Very unfortunate, Zerk, not to get that kill outright, instead tagging down below 20. Vinny and Yuri reside there, both pushed out. Ethan with 2, and Zerk finishes off Yuri. And that is the economy breaking.
You can tell how big of a round that is as well. NRG getting very loud for the first time in quite a while.
Because they know how much that forces them towards the finish line now. Because if CT can't really buy anything in this round, it's going to be basically flat out broke. They may even think of force buying, actually, because Vinny's down to 1,400.
Double
so
eco time.
You're in a brutal position right now if you're Furia.
Oh, man, yeah, they're going to have to find something special off of these pistols. Bring it to NRG, otherwise they're looking at 13 rounds. Straight out into Art. Art's cutting in behind the smoke here, though. It's gone completely undetected for the time being. Is he going to have the same kind of luck? Well, might not need it, actually. It's Yuri and K Serato with the Deagles. And well, then.
What is going on?
what was meant to be NRG's pathway to, well, near map point, new series point. It's been quickly snuffed by the Brazilians, Queserado and Yuri. 2 connections was all they needed to create full chaos. What do you really do if you're Stanislaw in this situation? You've got a UMP and you're going for long-distance fights here out in TR. Not to kind of pan out.
I mean, not only do Furia pull off a phenomenal round with effectively pistols and a complete bargain bucket buy, they don't lose a single player or a single point of health in the process.
And they pick up so many weapons too, right? You get a freebie, 100%. Updated odds from GG Bet now favoring Furia. Not even sure if that accounted for the current run we just saw, but for a Fulcrum round, as you mentioned, it's completely turned on its head for NRG, and they're forcing into this one. A little bit surprised actually by the tempo that they decided to display there as well. Surely you have to be aware of the economy, what kind of utility they would have to be able to work off of. They would have to be sneaky, around the smokes, and they do that pretty well.
Additionally, the Furia returning the favor. We saw so many aggressive plays outside from NRG on the CT side. This time it works for the Brazilians rather than against them. Molotovs being distributed to the back of the vents. Vinny with 2. Flashes connecting all around him.
Everybody's hitting shots in Flash right now. Eventually starts going to get a response onto Vinny, but it might be too late. Shots just being rattled everywhere. Yuri's going to get the better of Cirque, and that leaves Ethan alone. 1v4. ZZ. And that's it. Squeaky door no longer even opened.
Everything's just working against Ethan at this stage. And this was a force buy from NRG, by the way, so they are looking at nothing. In the next one, there's an M4. A clear kill, a clean one.
And bomb is in the hands of Ethan as well.
Queserado's gone down. This is now a 2v1. This is now doable. They're going to have a peek from Decon. Art's got to be very careful.
That's a dangerous swing to take. Hoping that he can find the timing to catch Ethan before he swings out. Yeah, time is pretty much the biggest issue for Ethan right now. He's going to have to commit to this lower bomb site to get a bomb plant down. Luckily for him, there's nobody from ramp, so he could get a bomb plant down here. This is very brazen.
He's kind of got to take a risk, though, right? In 2v1, you can't afford this time to tick down, and now suddenly things are starting to play out in his favor. They're both on Decon's side. Art has shown his hand again. He's going to go back in for another peek. Does he realize that Yuri is here? Ethan turning around. This could be a 1-on-4. This could be such a huge round for NRG, but Yuri comes to the rescue. And Fury going to take the 12-11 lead.
I got so much closer than it needed to be, though, for Furia. Ethan showcasing some of that 2018 form to bring that nearly back for NRG. And I mean, getting a bomb plant as well, now you're giving yourself a lot better chances of coming back into it. With the freebie that Fury were giving, winning that eco round, now that, I guess, advantage of it, just economy, well, speaking from an economic point of view, has been kind of negated. And it gives them a chance to fight back into this. A lot of repurchasing having to be made on the side of Furia. And what a turnaround that would have been, starting off the round 1v4 with a ZZ. No utility, no nothing.
I feel like that would have been the backbreaker, the Soul Destroyer, if he picks that one up. But, I mean, he still did a huge amount of damage.
Absolutely.
He took, pardon me, 3 players down with full weapons. So, again, it's going to be them dipping back in with a lot of replenished guns. However, NRG, on the other side of that, did get the bomb planted, but their economy wasn't looking good coming into the next round.
Big question, right? Is NRG going to force up behind that?
Right.
They're going to have a better buy if they do than what they had going into this one. No, yeah, they're deciding to be a bit conservative with this. But look at the money on the side of Furia.
Exactly, and there's still plenty of firepower here. Like, these pistols can still rip and shred through you. Smoke's going to be deployed. They're all going to be coming outside together as a united force. I like that. Trying to play the strength in numbers game. Cannot see footsteps. Yes, he can. He can just see the feet underneath the smoke. A slight gap, but can't land a shot through it. Vinny waiting for the oncoming terrorists. He gets 2. He's thinning the herd out, but Stanislaw, capable with the CZ, proves why. Onto Abel. J. Cirque spins around, swiveling Vinny off the map. A 3-on-3, and Art's in a pretty scary situation, but does get the point-blank range kill into Cirque, which is huge for Furia.
Yeah, okay, Queserado as well, denying any hope of a bomb plant initially as well. Standing on top of ramp, and we're just going to find the connection through the wall into Stanislaw as well. So it looked a bit dicey there for time being. Again, Arc going down. If he falls to Cirque and vents there, all of a sudden it's anybody's round.
Exactly. It would have been a 2v2, and Cirque would now have an AWP in his hands. So that was the terrifying prospect.
Well, for now, though, Furia holding on. Back in the lead. 2 rounds. Advantage. Vi comes out. Stanislaw back to UMP, so limited firepower on him, but they have the utility at the very least.
More aggression. This time Cirque is going to claim the first blood, alleviate some of the pressure. Vinny stacking it back up again. He's doing so much work. Art fell to his death. I'm not sure where that was. Was it from heaven?
Was that his own Molotov, though? I'm not sure if he actually fell from heaven or if he ran through his own Molotov in main.
Oh, it's very possible he did, yeah. We're going to have to see that one again, because it was just in the flurry of so many kills. Abel J, though, 1 on 3, has managed to snake his way through Squeaky.
How does he deal with this, though? There's so many angles to clear out. He has to go deep to find Breezy inside of Hut. That exposes him to the bomb site. There's also a player up in heaven. He's not even going to win out the first duel versus Ethan. All the confusion and chaos on that inner bomb site working out swimmingly for NRG.
I'm really curious to see what happened to Art here.
Yeah,
How did he die?
I think he's diving through a smoke in main and ends up running into his own Molotov. He's been playing around that main area, but what a round to go down and what a way to die.
Yeah, my initial reaction was because there was an NRG player looking at Heaven that he dropped out of Heaven and died while flashbanged, but I guess that wasn't the case. However, in this round, Furia have Force Port, and it's only going to be an M4 and an MP5. Remember that they did win a round with a very similar purchase to this. That's a solid flashbang, and it's going to yield the kill onto Tarek. That's an extra weapon trade's hands too. There is quite a bit of damage has been inflicted back towards them, though.
Still going to get the weapon up, though. You do have light Kevlar as well, so aim punch is not a factor. Smoke's already gone down. Vinny's rotated over towards Secret. Now NRG feel like every path is closing in on them. Breezy has been able to regain control over Lobby for the time being, but it's going to be Yuri to find the first frag, and Art follows up on that. And again, the low buy is just working out perfectly. Not a single casualty taken.
NRG having the worst case of deja vu. They've had 2 chances to run towards the finish line, and on both occasions they have tripped over and face planted. 14-12 now, Furia. Beautifully played, Force Buy. Weapons trade, hands again. And this was the rush onto Tarek. It was a fantastic flashbang preceding the push.
Yep.
And then using the AUGs, using the M4s to devastatingly strong effect.
Tactical pause is definitely needed for NRG right now. 2 golden nuggets really of a round dropped. It's going to be really tough to beat Furia on a map like Nuke if you keep doing that.
Turned out to be fake gold though, Ven.
They did, didn't it?
They were scammed.
Click that suspecting link. Now they're reaping the rewards of it. It's going to be an investment on the side of Breezy. Still not completely destroying their economy, obviously. They will be able to get a buy-in in round 28 regardless. But man, you've made it really hard for yourself on the side of NRG here.
Yeah, doing yourself no favors, but take nothing away from Furia. They have played so very well, impeccable in these Force Buy rounds, and they've got to finish it off. They can't take NRG lightly. NRG themselves have had some success with similar buys to this. Art patiently did see Ethan, just saw his backside around the corner, so he's going to know what's coming up. Interestingly, he's gone full out on this one, and it is going to pay off for him with the kill onto Ethan.
Tarek falls as well. Yuri once again being a staple here for Furia. He's going to get the return. That might lead to a bomb plant for NRG, so better buy coming in. He's still not done.
Oh no, Furia. Are they about to become the victim of their own success? Is the favor going to be returned? K Serato try and make some inroads through Decon. Yuri and Abel J through ramp. K Serato gets the upper hand with that first trade. Cirque from control. He's already got 2 kills. Needs to go better, and Breeze spraying with the SG. It's happened again. The Force Buys are consistently successful.
Oh man alive. This game has no end to it. Overtime looming. Seems more and more like a likelihood. Yeah, you can tell Furia players are not too happy about how that panned out. The fact that Stanislaw is able to get a dink onto Quesarado as well in that duel, putting him down to low HP, just so much for NRG as well. What do you do now? Well, full pistols, surely you're going to be able to see NRG deal with this. Stanislaw clears out Hut. That's more or less the Interbomb side. Well, calm down now.
That's a teammate's done.
Everybody's a little bit on edge here.
I know you're pretty new to this roster, mate, but they're your allies.
This time there hasn't been anything, no deagle connections from Yuri or Quesarado to create unbalances in the NRG attack. It should be 14-14.
Yeah, the double deags couldn't really do too much against NRG's push. Wanted to make sure that they're efficient this time. So we're going to be tied up, man. We're getting all the rounds. It's been a very entertaining map. Not always the best Counter-Strike, but
that's
been
usually
good
the
to
most
watch.
entertaining one, right?
I love how aggressive both teams have been on their T sides as well. Not really whittling down the timer too much, going for very aggressive plays through the likes of Squeaky and
It
Hut.
hasn't been a lot of the, I guess, the classic approaches where setting up in spawn, waiting out, smoke wall, walk down into secret and wait for another 40 seconds.
We've had some interesting boosts take shape as well. Didn't really get much out of it, but it was cool to watch for a moment.
Absolutely. Right now, though, at the very tail end of the second map here. Keep in mind, if NRG were to pick this up, that means that they are through. They've done what they came out to do here in Berlin. Furia just fighting to get that third map of Inferno into play.
Oh, that nade.
It does minimal damage at the very least, and Tarek's going to continue on. Vinny there to trade. Oh, he's going to get 2.
The problem is it does minimal damage, but it doesn't blow Squeaky door up, so it's only one-dimensional. They needed to get rid of that door as soon as possible, and now Stanislaw is going to make a charge for the B side. He does have the bomb, can get this planted. No one can really stop him.
Oh, he's going to go for the fake as well. He's expecting a quick rotation.
Yeah, he wants to try and catch them as they transition downstairs, but very unfortunate from his perspective. No one is here.
Yeah, and that pretty much gives up a chance of actually getting a bomb plant down easily. Full rotation over towards Heaven, though. Might work out with how the setup on Furia's end is working right now. Should at least be able to get up on Heaven unnoticed. Needs to find a multi-kill, though, before he can go for a bomb plant.
He's been spotted. Yuri sees him.
Oh, this is very hopeful.
It's hopeful, but, you know, a lot of players would fake in this position. You can see what he was going for, but Art was having none of it. Furia going to have a map point.
Art needs to take a breather before defusing as well. Just calming things down. And now all the pressure is on NRG. With the bomb plant, they will have enough money to buy up as well, so it's going to be all guns blazing. Vinny here with a double kill, doing so much. Hold on. Put Furia on map point.
Yeah, this, of course, the upper bracket semi-finals. A game that we didn't expect to see this early on, but it is delivering thus far.
It really is, yeah. The additional money, Breezy's able to drop a gun over to Tarek as well, so full buy on both sides. Here we go. Don't see too many offs coming up from Cirque here on the T side. This might be the one round they need, though. Art out and about as always. He's going to find the angle to deal with Ethan.
You hear the scream of passion too, knowing that puts them in such a good position. A clean kill. Art can dart back, relocate, reposition into secret.
Vinny apparently knows that Breezy's made it of Squeaky as well, so easy pickup for him. So the trade comes in on Yuri. Oh, did he Art not spot the guy on top of main?
I'm not entirely sure, but he pushed through that Molotov, so now he's in a very vulnerable, weakened position. Vinny, he got completely baited from the top of main, and that got him killed by Tarek. Cirque now is going in 2. They got the first kill for you, but now they trail by a player. Make it 2. It's all Quesarado. Abel J cannot hold. It looks like we could be going to overtime unless Quesarado can pull off this 1v3. He's got the first. Tarek and Stanislaw stand between him, Furia, and Inferno, which would be our third map. Bomb planted. Player up in heaven. This is going to be very hard for Quesarado to muster. He's just picked up a Molotov, though, and still has a HE, which is going to bank off the wall. Only tickles Stanislaw, really. It's negligible damage at best. Molotov into heaven.
Oh, does he fluff it? No, it still works out. Tarek actually goes wide on that for some reason.
It did work, and now Serato needs to make a beeline for the site. Stanislaw will stand in, deliver the headshot. Overtime, here we come.
This is so back and forth. Yeah, Vinny just finding himself in the worst position possible. He has the right read that there is someone on top of main, but drops past and around the corner for him, gets traded on. Oh, man. I'm surprised by Tarek's decision here to just wide into the Molotov. I guess it's a play for, obviously, Kisarado wouldn't necessarily expect it to happen. And he obviously doesn't want Stanislaw to get separated from himself and then have Kisarado have 2 1v1s, but
Listen, you also have, if the bomb's...
it's pretty high risk.
Yeah, if the bomb's planted at the backside for Heaven, you're not entirely sure if that second player maybe moved into Hut or somewhere else as you were transitioning in, so you can't even be sure he's at the back of the site at that stage. There's a lot of things going on inside your head. Yeah. And Stanislaw leading by example. Overtime coming up, and this is where NRG may be thinking to themselves, well, hold on, if we won those 2 force buy rounds...
We could have been done by now.
We could have 2-0'd this.
Definitely could have, but that also, you know, it is a bit of a telling tale that they have been the stronger team in, I guess, normal rounds, if you want to call that. Even though they've had their shares of mixed buys working out for them as well.
But you know, on the other side of that event, Furia could be looking at themselves and saying, well, there was a force buy that NRG got, and it was, what, 14-12?
Yeah.
That could have been us winning this map. We could be going to Inferno. So, I mean, both teams have had chances.
Oh, absolutely so. And, I mean, that's why we're finding ourselves in overtime right now. Question is, who's going to deal better when, well, you're not going to have the force buys to rely on, as weird as that sounds. Now it's just money all around for both teams.
Yet to splash the cash.
See what comes of it as well. On the side of Furia, it's been Yuri leading the charge, so we've gotten used to that by now. As you see him in frame, I think he's up to 27 kills in regulation, so not bad at all. We've also seen some highlights coming out of Ethan here on the side of NRG. Obviously that near to be 1v4. But actually did have significant impact towards the later stages, because with the force buy that they had later on with the SG on Breezy, that pretty much just put Fury back to start, and that's what allowed NRG to get into a position to bring it to overtime eventually.
Absolutely. That was 3 kills against CTs when their economy was in a really bad state of flux.
Yep.
So that definitely, as you say, had a lasting impact, a domino effect, if you will. But here we go. First round of overtime, 19, of course, the magic number. And both teams jockeying for position. It's either going to be a 2-0 or we're heading to Inferno. See how NRG and Furia come out the gates. It's going to be Tarek aggressive. That's a whiff. Molotov. I think he may have been blocked by Breeze.
I think that was just a doorway that blocked it.
Possibly, yeah. Either way, that's not great news. Although there was a Molotov tossed down on the other side anyway, so probably couldn't have pushed out.
Yeah. Any sort of vent dive, though, that they had in mind is out of the question for the time being. Again, Vinny from the same position finds 2. Be aware of this. Tarek is going to be able to find the trade, but it's not enough, and this is a pretty clean sweep for the time being for Furia, surviving with 3, so their economy is set for the rest of the overtime. Vinny once again finding so much success there just from the top of Hut.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because in previous rounds, they've actually Molotov the top of Hut. They've dealt with that position. This time they don't, and Vinny's just stood there like, cool, 3 kills, I'll take it.
I think that's also one of the positions that is really hard to Molotov off. You remember Ethan finding that small safe haven once the Molotov is down, but we've also seen NRG kind of focus the brunt of their push through Squeaky a fair few times, with Stanislaw widening out to clear out top Hut. Not being the case this time around in Yuri, and in similar positions we've seen Art multiple times. Ethan with a bit more of a passive approach. He knows he's been caught off a couple of times from this angle. Shots firing off, so at least gives Ethan the knowledge that somebody is looking for him. Takes the detour around Silo here. Passive approach so far, though.
Yeah, this feels like one of the slowest rounds on the T side that we've had on either squads here. Been pretty fast-paced throughout. Now NRG slowing it down, trying to draw out as much utility from Furia as they can.
Breezy is actually going to be the one to find the opening. That's Art getting aggressive on ramp. We've seen some ramp pushes coming in from Furia, but not Art solo. He's been predominantly doing his work around yard and main. Nonetheless, an opening found for NRG. Ethan flash through, still going to get caught out by Yuri's posted up very passively here. That does disallow Tarek to move forward, though. No heaven push, but he's still going to be able to find Able J. Not to be traded just yet either, down to 7 HP.
Yeah, no stray grenade tossed in either.
Yeah, the only nade left is on Vinny, and he's not really in a position to throw that out there. He's going to rotate down. Kisarado on top of Heaven here.
Time though, Van. 20 seconds.
Yeah, they need to commit to something on the side of NRG right now.
They've got to go in. There's no further room for stalling, for stagnating. It has to be a push in case Serato gets themselves another round with a triple spray.
Two very different reactions from the coaches.
Subdued.
Being loud as ever.
Yeah, chat is just like, oh God.
Defeated.
Oh, no, guys. Why is this happening?
Why has this happened again? And yeah, as you said, time running down. They're committed to go to the upper bomb site, and Furia just having every man available towards that bomb site. Even with the early opening towards ramp, keep that in mind. Breezy found the opening kill over towards radio. So that avenue was open the entire time. Just the gamble from Furia panning out there.
Oh, it's going to be tested with his orb. How? How in the hell did that not hit anybody? That's unbelievable.
He's going to get the follow-up though onto Cirque, and Stanislaw
Oh dear.
raiding through, and Breezy once again with that SG, finding kills on the lower bomb site.
It's ruthless again. NRG just not slowing down, holding W the whole way through. Now they can start to pick up the scraps, dial it down a notch. Molotovs and flashes being tossed down. There's a smoke. Trying to cordon off these double doors. A flashbang actually from Vinny's teammates going to hurt him more than the terrorist, but Breeze didn't expect that up close. So Vinny can dart in with the AK kill. Post-plant 3-on-3, still utility for both teams. Molotov on Tarek, who is playing on ramp, so going to be looking to toss that onto the site.
He needs to be the passive player in this one. They've got an open plant, so he doesn't need to expose himself just yet. Stanislaw with the ZZ getting more work done. He's getting all the work done, actually, in fact. So they do salvage around on the side of NRG, 16-17 in favor of Furia here, but that was a must-win for NRG. Going into the second half of OT, having to pretty much set up for a flawless half just to stay alive is not what you want. Now giving themselves a chance to potentially close this out here.
Certainly not. And it's not as if both teams had a really lackluster T-half either. They've both been having pretty decent success. So
absolutely,
a clean sweep would have been pretty much the GG for NUKE. That one round, though, does give them a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, admin over there checking his Stanislaw's PC, making sure he doesn't have any shenanigans going on after that CZ round.
Are you hacking?
Yeah, straight up. Like, that didn't seem right. No. And it's just the in-game leader of NRG being able to have massive impact when it matters. And he's had quite a few of those here on NUKE as well, showing up at the right time. Obviously, the 1v1 to send them into overtime. Early stages as well.
The play that really sticks out in my mind is that really sick flank he did on the CT side where he sprayed down 3 players, denied the bomb plant, basically single-handedly won them around. That was a really cool moment.
Yeah, he's had like 4 or 5 like significant impact rounds already. Sure. So while he might not be on top of the charts in terms of just straight-up kills, his impact has been just impeccable so far. Now, though, they're just sorting out whatever technical issues Stan had on his computer.
All players pensive, deep in thought as to what's going to be happening now that the roles will reverse. 17-16 in favor of Furia, now on the T side.
Yeah, and keep in mind as well, both these teams have used a hefty amount of timeouts early on in the match. So the further we go, if you get into double OT territory, I mean, there's definitely stuff to talk about, but you're not going to have the coach's help to actually bring you through.
I think Furia used all 4, if I'm not mistaken.
It could very well be, yeah. I think NRG might have 1 left to their name. But that is definitely something that comes into play, obviously, the further the game extends. I mean, the all-seeing eye of either Chet or Goeri is definitely something that could be providing vital information once you get into those stages, especially if you're running into a bit of a wall, right? Overtime is a bit finicky. Rarely plays out in the same fashion that we see regulation time play out. So if they're able to spot any sort of details, they're not going to be able to relay that to their team.
And if you are a Brazilian fan of Counter-Strike, there is plenty more action for you coming up too. Our next game is Sharks versus INTZ. The Brazilians have a huge amount of here at the Miners.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they have the potential to get 3 Brazilian teams qualifying for the major. How wild wouldn't that be?
Pretty crazy. Here we go, though. Any issues have been remedied. They have been solved, and Furia, with the round advantage, too shy of taking us to Inferno, but NRG will have a few things to say about that. Stanislaw aggressive again outside, using that smoke as a shield.
He's just going to hide away in it. And keep in mind, because we're playing with 10K, that means that for CTs to win the first round here, it's going to be everything, or you're going to have another backstab from Stanislaw.
Oh, this is going to be a massacre. It's brutal. 2 kills. Bomb also dropped out. The roles reversing. There is a next player, though, in the form of Caserado that should have Stanislaw's number.
Eventually he does. But again, this gives all the information that you need for NRG's side. They know exactly what strategy to expect out of Furia at this stage. It's the same outer push with Caserado being the late lurk. But surprisingly, very late rotations, and Tarek haven't really manifested himself onto the bomb site. There is room to get a plant down. That's a very wide Molotov, actually. Tarek could have easily swung on that, but the plant's going to go down. So playing the numbers game here on the side of NRG, and everyone's coming through ramp.
Yeah, everybody. This is so one-dimensional. They're going to have to be a fist to just punch right through, puncture onto the site, try and plunder it, raise it to the ground if they can. The Vinny goes unchecked. The spray transfer is sublime with 3 kills, and he could have just done it single-handedly. Furia now have 2 more map points.
What a way to do it as well. I'm kind of baffled by the fact that we didn't see more of a reaction out of NRG. They should be able to kind of read what's going on. Stanislaw obviously spots the majority of the team running down secret. They know that Caserado is the late lurk. That is pretty much the recipe, the ABCs of Furia's lower takes. And still, just no reaction from Tarek. He's not in a position to really deny a bomb plant. He's not playing from rafters downstairs, even though there was enough time for him to rotate down. Same goes for the players on the inner bomb side, dropping through vents potentially.
I was just amazed they didn't throw flashes or anything in before they did go for that push. And Stanislaw was like, am I a joke to you? I got 2 kills outside.
Is that not enough?
Really?
Now Art's made it through the angle, actually, that Stanislaw is holding. He's still tucked away into a corner, so he still should be safe, but Heaven is exposed for the time being. What can Art do here? It's up to 24 kills, so definitely doing his part here. He's actually made it into Squeaky. Ethan's got tabs on the position. Is he going to expect Vinny to come out of vents, though? No, but Breezy does. And all of a sudden, things start to fall apart. Stanislaw being so patient inside of Garage. That's himself 2 kills. Now Caserado left alone. In hand, finds the first one.
Bomb, though, Ven. That's the real issue here.
Yeah,
getting
dropped
outside from main is so very difficult to do in this situation. This is a real predicament, and we may not be done just yet. Some more twists and turns.
Gonna go up on Silo here. Get an overview of the yard area, but still, Stanislaw tucked away in the corner. He doesn't really need to move ever. No. He's got Cirque covering his back as well. What do you do here? Time is starting to run out as well. You've got 20 seconds on you.
Plenty of money, though, so Furia may as well go for it. There's no reason to save this AK. Caserado going to get picked on the cross, as we anticipated, and Furia have 1 more chance.
That was such a gigantic round for NRG to stay alive with as many players as they did, too. Turn around from Breezy there at the right time to find Viddy. A little bit of luck coming into it for NRG, having their eyes at the right spot at the right time. And again, with so many people surviving, that does mean that they're going to be able to replenish pretty decently. And you can see Ethan there, 130 ADR this far into the game. Miles ahead of anyone on his side.
He's bossing it.
He is, and we could use another spectacle of a round from him to get them into double OT here.
May not be enough, though.
Oh, Tarek.
Oh, Tarek for the spray. There's 2. Oh, the last bullet connects to Caserado.
Well done. It didn't have to be Ethan to come up with some magic there. Tarek with the first aggressive ramp push that we've seen out of NRG all game, and what a time to do it. You could tell nobody on the side of Furia was expecting that to happen. That is absolutely wild, finding the third frag on the very last bullet.
Yeah, the last bullet just domes him.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Bam.
Pop. See ya.
That is wild. Talk about having impact here. We're seeing it from everyone on the side of NRG right now. That does take them to double OT, and I mean, with how many heroics we're seeing out of the NRG players, you're kind of baffled by the fact that they haven't been able to close out the game yet, but that just goes to show how well Furia are playing in this.
I thought we'd seen the best spray transfer of Vinny, but Tarek may just have one-upped him. And that will be second overtime.
Even frags all across the board on both teams. And away we go again. Keep in mind, NRG does so much for them and their economy if they're able to win out the first round here, especially with the op investment. Art, though, snuck his way through the smoke. He's going to land the shot onto Breezy as well. This allows for an opening onto the upper bomb site.
And the smoke tossed into main. Going to extend the incursion onto the site. The bomb still hasn't been planted. Needs to be retrieved. Still dropped out in lobby. Serato going to pick it up for his team. There's a Molotov into heaven. So Furia doing a good job with their utility of keeping NRG at arm's reach. Another smoke into main. Ethan just spots Art before it has a chance to fully plume.
Taking so much damage, though. 6 HP on Zerk, 18 to Ethan's name. A lot of this is going to rely on Tarek being able to do something from heaven.
The smoke going to start to dwindle. Flashbang in. Tarek will get rid of Able J. Ethan going to come up big with a kill, and there's Zerk as well. NRG going to take the lead in our second overtime, mounting the pressure on Furia.
That was so well played as from NRG's side, too. You could see initially it was Ethan and Zerk set up outside of main, but it was just with the constant re-smoking. Zerk repositions outside of heaven, sets up a perfect flash for Tarek to land that first kill onto the bomb player right beside Silo. Creates openings for Ethan to push through main. And Zerk to get up on heaven to find that last kill. Just brilliantly done from NRG, having the patience and the presence of mind to reposition, understanding that main's not going to be the main focal point for a retake. Oh, missed timing there.
Yeah, Nade needs to come in earlier. That's what Serato was looking for.
Yeah, he was holding on to that Molotov for an extended period of time, too.
And it looks really clumsy, but if they want to push out fast, he has to throw that Molotov as soon as possible.
Yep.
You have to trust in your teammates to nade that squeaky door.
Oh, Stanislaw just millimeters away from actually spotting out Art, but instead it's going to be Zerk to find the right timing. Art just so exposed out by T-Red. He's going to get a response, but Breezy's already found one. Able J is making a lot of noise on ramp. That makes Tarek fall down, so ramp room at least. Gain for the side of Furia, and Yuri is going to continue his carnage out in yard.
Yeah, he's doing work. He's getting Furia back in this round, potentially back in this overtime. If they can see 2 in a row, you do fear the worst for them. 22, of course, now is what we're aiming at.
Oh, Ethan, is there any eye on heaven right now?
No.
He's not
Breeze
exposed.
may be looking at it. Yeah, he's just turned his attention with the SG, and 2 headshots will go his way. Yuri has done so well in this round, but it's going to be a 1-on-3 now. He'd also be picking up the ace if he somehow pulled this out the hat. There's nothing really going his way. The bomb's in a horrible spot. He's got a player to his left-hand side behind the vents, one behind the silos. You feel like whatever happens, he's a dead man, and Ethan will be the final player to face him.
Damn. What a turnaround there. It was looking like it could get really dicey for NRG with Ethan having focused his eyes on Squeaky. That is going to be Breezy. He's just turning his attention to heaven at the right time to find a double kill. There you go, yeah.
It literally was just in time, because when you said, is anyone watching heaven? He just turned from facing main to peek up to heaven, as 2 players showed themselves.
It's definitely what you needed from NRG's side, and now it's their turn to potentially put a flawless half on the board. And they get close out at first CT half. Art once again, figuring around the smoke. Not going to find the opening kill this time, though. NRG know now.
Has the vent been popped? Because if it hasn't, they know no one's gone downstairs. They know they're still clumped up here on the A site. Now they're starting to drop down.
Art goes through main. And Breezy's not noticed that.
Now they know. Circus spotted him. Molotov to heaven. Going to be peering out towards Squeaky. It's not a flash, it's a smoke. And that baits Yuri. He turns his back, fearing the worst. Trying to turn away from the oncoming bullets. It's not going to work that way. Ethan, headshot delivered onto Vinny. Furia still have a foothold in this round, though. Heaven could become theirs. Able J feeling out ramp at the same time. Ethan's going to show his hand, and it gets ripped off.
It's aggressive from Ethan there. They had the man advantage. Now, though, Tarek's actually going to follow suit. This is definitely not something Furia is going to expect, and he's going to find the right timing here as well.
Tarek coming in, looking to pulverize this first Half of the second overtime, Caserado has to hold a different angle to what he really ideally would like because of the Molotov, but going to be tossing one in retaliation. A lot of damage to Tarek, actually. Nearly burns to a crisp in hut. But he has two teammates to rest on. He's going to be going in first, taking the first point of call. Frags coming down for Furia to one-on-one. Can Cirque pull it off? CZ comes out. How's Caserado not killed him? And one bullet will finalize, and Cirque will get the kill. And there's enough time for the defuse too. NRG with a clean sweep, second overtime.
How the hell does he dodge the bullets for Caserado right there? That's a matrix movement out of the young Bulgarian. And you can see, yeah, that's devastating for Furia. Hands behind their heads. They definitely expected to pull that one back. Right now, this match is just all over the place.
You really feared the worst for Cirque when he pulled his CZ out there, because you could see that Caserado wanted to go for the peak.
Yeah, you have to assemble the
It was this moment I thought it's over, because Caserado just peeked him. I have no idea how he didn't get killed.
It takes so long, like the draw time of the ZZ. It's
like building a house every time you bring it out. It's unbelievable how long it takes, but...
Like buying furniture from IKEA and not having all the parts.
Well, whichever way you want to spin it, then it's 21-18, and Furia have got to win every round from here on out to take us to a third overtime. Any mistake, and they're done. It's a 2-0.
See what the play is going to be. Yuri once again wants to deal with Ethan. Ethan wisened up to this earlier on, took the detour around Silo. See if he keeps that up. Instead, it's going to be Vinny to find Breezy through Squeaky. That's going to send them on an aggressive push, and yet again, Ethan's bested. Everything coming up Fury here at the start of it. As you said, they need to be perfect. They can't have anything unlike this happen.
There we go, Fury. That's more like it. Yuri coming in with a kill and assist. Vinny's going to get the second one. On to Tarek. Cirque is the only NRG player to have counteracted and broken the deadlock.
Although, plenty of HP for them to work with here, and they're going to continue to be aggressive. Look at the positioning from Caserado inside of lobby. It's going to be really difficult to deal with, obviously, on the side of NRG. Smoke down as well. It's going to buy them extra time. Already, Caserado's got his eyes on it. He knows what's coming.
Cirque did wing Caserado partially through the wall. He's down to 22. We can't afford to stay around here for much longer. Playing it really well with Furia. There's the peak from Art. And Stanislaw can't do a great deal about this.
Really can't. You can see if we can remove some numbers at the very least. That's the most hopeful crouch down a ladder I've seen in a while, but wasn't left with too many options in that scenario.
Yeah.
So Furious do stay perfect for the time being. Great openings there from Yuri and Vinny to put them in a prime position. And you got to love the fact that Furia, they don't shy away from their natural playing style, even when they get put, you know, backs against the wall. You can still see Vinny getting the opening frags. That just sends him and Art into lobby immediately to gain more map control.
It's good to see there's still smiles too. You know, 21-19, they're up against it. Could potentially be bowing out in the upper brackets. There's still plenty of smiles across the faces. NRG have 2 more opportunities to put this best of 3 to bed. But Furia have shown time and time again, these guys have real grit, real tenacity. They will not lie down. They will fight till the bitter end.
This time, different setup, though, on the side of Furia. No aggressive peek behind any sort of smokes, because it hasn't been put down any sort of smoke wall from NRG. This is more to what we see, I guess, most teams do a lot of the time. Vinny's been so aggressive into lobby. Reezy's going to be expecting that. They've set up in a pretty much an ideal way to counteract this, but Art, well, nobody's going to pressure him. He's going to pressure you. Find Cirque, so equal numbers once again.
Yeah, sides mean nothing. CTT, he's playing the same. He's taking the fight to you. He's going to try and catch you unaware. Smoke down from Breeze. And there's the peak, but it's into Molotov, and Breeze deals with him. So the player advantage goes back into NRG's hands. 40 seconds left, but the damage inflicted to Caserado down to 49.
That means no early rotations down towards the lower bomb site as well. They do have one person flanking Stanislaw and Co. Maple J at the top of ramp as well.
Uh-oh.
It's a bit of a disaster. Yuri goes down 2v4.
Maple J, Caserado, Furia need a hero. They need a huge play to come out It's going to be planted on the A site. They were desperately hoping it would be B, as both players were there. Queserato shows himself. Breeze pummels him. Abel J, 1-on-4 to keep Furia in this match. Tarek just behind the boxes. The positions are so powerful. Oh, what a shot that is. Looking for a second. Flashbang down towards the site. Actually affects him more so than any of the other terrorists. He's got a grenade for his troubles. Second kill won't be coming in, and NRG will take it 2-0. It was a fantastic performance from both teams on NUKE, but in the end, NRG just slightly stronger.
Slightly stronger, but yeah, that was very much the game on its edge the entire time. Fury had plenty of opportunities to close this out, much like NRG, so they have to feel a little bit gutted.